Some people seriously don't want your help. And it can be really awkward if you're the person that's trying to help somebody who clearly and obviously doesn't want your help. So, my way of doing this is stepping back and just only giving suggestions and like serious responses when like you believe it's appropriate and when somebody is like actually directly asking for your help. And I want to explain like why like maybe the indirect ways that somebody might do this. So but I want to also explain that there is times where people are essentially going to like sneak in these like almost like these like helping jabs, but they're not really helping jabs. They're more or less like one ups on your like what you're doing, okay? And what essentially these kind of people are doing is they're giving you maybe like if they're giving you good suggestions, then they're giving you good suggestions. But sometimes people will give you these like I guess you could say suggestions that are simply just to prove that they're better than you in some way, especially whenever you have a belief that your way is already like pretty much perfected and that the way that they're explaining it to you doesn't really like actually make sense. You know what I'm saying? So like there won't be a lot of times that you might like have these situations arise, but it's very possible, and I've dealt with it before. So my way of going about this is pretty much like just do what you're doing, whether it be in school or your workplace or whatever, and people will eventually copy you. And not everybody will copy you. Some people are going to try to do the opposite, or they're going to try to be better than you. But in reality, you're you, and obviously you can try to help people, but some people don't want to be helped. Some people don't want to rise with you. So it just is what it is. If you are on the self-improvement journey, you've been trying to help yourself, and you're doing the things that you want to do to better your life, I can almost guarantee you that you're probably on a better direction than most. And like the things that you decide to do over others, and not doing this out of like an egotistical way. I mean it as in like you just like know that maybe your way is better, or maybe you've actually taken suggestions from other like people that you work with or go to school with, and you actually apply them to what you've already built. That's like the true like fucking man way of like making things work. You know what I'm saying? And it's really cool whenever you actually do that yourself. So I did bring this up earlier, indirect ways that people will essentially ask for your help. This is something, because a lot of people won't actually directly ask you for their help. They won't ask like for your advice. If they do, then they probably have a very good level of trust in you, and they can actually take your word and hopefully apply it to their own life. But a lot of people aren't going to do this because people just don't really like asking for other people's opinions, in the fear that they like might be too truthful, or you know, something like that. So the way that somebody would like maybe, I guess you could say indirectly, maybe invite you into this would be, I'm just going to come up with this example that, let's just say that this person that you're talking to, she's pretty much trying to like explain to you why she's like super confused about why Jeffrey had broke up with Megan in your workplace or something like that. Now the thing is like maybe she's confused about it, or he's confused about it, or whatever. And whenever they're like essentially inviting you to the conversation to talk about it, they're more than likely indirectly asking for your opinion on it, only because it's a like conversational, I guess you could say like a discussion. So your own opinion and ideas, as long as they're not closed-minded, I think that it would definitely apply to whatever you're talking about. So whenever you're essentially invited into a conversation, and I mean like not just throwing jabs where like let's just say the girl's talking to another guy about Jeffrey and Megan, right? And then another guy jumps in and like he continues talking because like he's just curious about what's going on and everything, and then like eventually he gets like wrapped into it, and then all of a sudden you come over yourself, and then all of a sudden you start just like jabbing in like your opinion instantly without even really knowing true information about what's going on. That can really make you look like a fucking dick. And I think I've done that in the past, and I've like, if I have, I'm sorry. I don't know if I have to anybody, but like that I know, and I like can't think of any like specific scenarios, but I'm sure I've done it. So, but it's something that I want to be more aware of, and something that like you have to be invited to conversate about certain things in order to indirectly give your opinion, because like they're not directly asking for it, but in a way they're technically asking for it. And also I just want to bring up, if it's drama in your school, workplace, whatever it be, this is common, this is obviously going to happen, and these are things that is up to you whether or not you want to actually participate in. Obviously, I would try to stay out of other people's business and really only give opinions that aren't going to hurt other people. Unless like somebody like did something, some fucking like really terrible stuff, then like maybe you can. But in my opinion, it's good to really just like stay away from the whole drama thing. I know that in this day and age, men and women are both very attracted to drama, and sometimes other people's lives are more interesting than themselves. So this is like extremely common to see where like people will talk about other people more than themselves, about what they're like, what these other people are doing rather than themselves. So this is something that maybe this would be like a whole other video I could really talk about actually, but maybe I'll leave that for another video. I hope this kind of wraps up everything. That essentially my suggestion here is to give advice when indirectly asked or invited. If it's directly asked, of course give advice. Make sure that it's always open-minded and that you're staying in within your own like morals and like your like stuff like that. But also like be reasonable, you know, be very reasonable. Think about like these different like positions and stuff like that, and really understand what you are saying before you really say it, because you can really like screw yourself over by, you know, misinterpreting something or just misunderstanding, you know, or just like simply just like maybe it's like that faked ignorance, you know what I'm saying? Like make sure that you really understand what's going on before you start giving like these actual opinions and talking about like helping people that like are actually wanting help, right? And to just leave alone the people that don't want to be helped because they probably just don't like you, and they maybe just think of you a certain way because they just don't like your self-improvement journey or something like that. Maybe you're just on a path that they just don't agree with because they can't relate to you. I have no idea. Like I try to put myself in like other people's shoes and stuff like that, and like think the way that they think, and they're like, why do they think that way? And it's just like, okay, it's probably because they can't relate, and you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But that's pretty much been it for this video. I hope this made sense to you guys. I hope you guys got something from it. I try to make it as not as complex as possible, but sometimes whenever I'm editing and stuff like that, I'm like, oh god, I really hope that they understand what I'm trying to say here, and I'll try to like edit it to be like more fluent and make more sense. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video, and if you guys want to check out this video right here, I would appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.